ladies and gentlemen, Ronald Ray here, your boy with a cornbread accent. Welcome you to this week's episode of WWE Monday Night Raw Recap. Yes, the crowd at the Moody Center in Austin, Texas, got to see some build up to I was about to say Bash at the Beach, Bash in Berlin. Also, putting a period on SummerSlam. So, a few things to get to today. Sorry, a little late on this week's episode. I got busy yesterday, but hey, uh, still got to do the grind. Here we go. So, yeah, I'm actually, reason I'm kind of babbling right now. Hopefully, my sound is better. It sounds better in here, and when I tested earlier, it did sound pretty good. So, um, if it does sound good, hey, leave me a positive comment. Say, hey, sounds great, champ. Even though I'm not a champ, I'm a complete amateur. Yeah, see, I even took a little this thing off, that off. Um, so maybe that's what it is now. Everybody can see what a cheap mic I use. So, but hey, I'm a rookie, amateur at that, amateur rookie. See, I'm not a pro, not even a pro. I'm a rookie. I'm an amateur, so I'm allowed to use cheap crap, so, or if not crap, pretty good mic, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, enough of me babbling. Y'all are here to talk about Monday Night Raw. So, before I do it, one more little thing. If you like what you're hearing, hit the like button, leave a comment, let me know what you thought about this Monday's Raw, or just to say hello and be a champ. And click on that subscribe button, share with friends, tell them to do the same thing, tell them to be a champ. Click on that subscribe button. With all that out of the way, now let's let her rip. Like I said before, they setting up Bash at the Berlin or Bash in Berlin, Bash at the Berlin. I say Bash at the Beach again. Anyway, Bash in Berlin also putting up period on the SummerSlam Premium Live event. Kicking things off on this episode of Raw was Rhea Ripley, and I gotta say, right now I think Rhea Ripley is crazy over. Uh, but that being said, she said she was going through a few emotions. Dominic, stabbed her in the back, and of course she put a pun on it. Say, hey, I'm pretty sure you hear this a lot. You just didn't stab me deep enough. Uh, Wrap your head around that one. She says it's also time to remind them who Buddy or Rhea Bloody Ripley is. So at that point, here comes Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio. They were in the crowd. Dominic got the mic, said he left Rhea because Liv treats him like a man and helped him beat his deadbeat dad. And he said he felt kind of embarrassed being a grown man calling another grown woman mommy. Uh, anyway, I'll leave that one alone. Uh, Rhea said she was buying a little bit of time, letting them talk because out creeping behind them, Michael Myers style almost, was Damian Priest, and he started attacking Dominique, and Rhea chased Liv, and a brawl was on. Uh, kind of all over, got in a concession stand, everything this week. And of course, this would lead up, and see, that was probably the old crap moment. I messed up. Uh, you look right there on Dominic's face. It's like, man, I gotta really rethink my life because that's one big dude I just hit. Uh, anyway, of course, all of this will lead to a match between Damian Priest and Carlito. Back and forth stuff. Damian Priest shine. This is pretty basic by the numbers. Uh, Damian Priest would get the shine. Carlito bring the heat, choking him, cheating, and stuff like that. But Damian Priest would mount a comeback, one with the South of Heaven. Here comes the Judgment Day members to attack Damian Priest. Rhea came out to help him. This left, Finn Balor alone. Damian Priest is about to give him a thrust kick when JD McDonough pushed Balor out of the way and ate the kick instead. Terror Twins embrace. Dominic had a come to Jesus me again when he got, because it was looking, I guess looking to drop a accidental behind Rhea Ripley, but that's when he got goozled by Damian Priest, uh, threw him to Rhea Ripley, kicked him in the webos, going for the riptide, but got saved by Liv Morgan. Pretty good segment here. Great reaction Damian Priest is getting, as well as Rhea Ripley. All right, now it's time for the first match of the night. Features Ozzy Jones against Vincent Whining. He's a product of the Performance Center. His, I guess, first Raw match. So, and I bet you he wish he can draw a bet, at least a smaller competitor maybe from Ozzy Jones. Ozzy's a big old boy, and that big old boy can move. Winds up getting the victory with a spinning sidewalk slam. Final Testament came out. Uh, Still trying to drive that wedge between Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. Said, you know, Karrion Kross said, look, he's not looking, he's not using Ozzy Jones to replace Big E. He's using Ozzy Jones to replace you. Uh, Xavier did grab the mic and said, look, I'm up for a tag team match, me and Kofi against you two, but Kofi wound up grabbing the mic and said, hey, let's make this a six-man AOP Karrion Kross because y'all going to interfere anyway, which makes sense against Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods, and New Day, and honestly Jones. And you kind of look on Woods' face there. Xavier Woods is, I don't think he's feeling this. I think maybe Karrion Kross, this work is getting to him, so might need to pay attention to your house there, Kofi Kingston. Uh, but because Xavier Woods is not digging this, he wants his time to shine. And hey, since we're in Texas, I guess somebody decided, hey, let's have a good old Texas tornado match, tag team match. It is Otis and Tozawa, the Alpha Academy. I guess Chad Gable said, screw it, y'all keep that name. Against American Made Creed Brothers. That's the name Gable and the Creed Brothers are going by. Things were kind of going their way till Tozawa went for a suicide dive on Julius, but Julius decided to catch him and throw a suplex on him down the aisle. They would come, Otis and Tozawa would come back before the commercial break, using Tozawa, kind of like Terry Funk used to use that ladder to spin around and attack people. This little back and forth stuff, Otis and Tozawa would get the small advantage, and the Creed brothers would take over a little bit. That's when Ivy Niles came in and attacked her best friend, Maxine Dupree. This would distract Otis and Tozawa. Creed brothers would take advantage of that. Julius gets rid of Otis. Brutus schoolboys Tozawa. 1, 2, 3. Your winners are the Creed brothers. So they finally get that first winner of the belt. Well, they've had a few wins as a tag team, but now they've changed their philosophy, as Gordon Soley would say, going to a little more, snug style, a little more rougher style, breaking the rules a little bit. So we should say if this elevates them a little bit. You got Chad Gable there. He's a veteran. He knows the ins and outs by now, or should have. And so hopefully they get pretty good push here. I think they seem pretty talented right now. Real athletic. A couple of guys that they're legit, a legit wrestler, so they can turn you into a pretzel if they wanted to. All right, next up we got another tag team match. This time featuring the women of the WWE. This has some implications for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship. It is Damage Control members Io Sky and Kairi Sane going against Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler with Sonya Deville in their corner. And I believe they're given a new name now. They're going to be called the Pure Fusion Collective. I'm not sure who put that in, but hey, sometimes I guess it could work. I'm not going to trash it too much. I like this trio. I mean, Deville, she could talk. That's kind of a weakness with Stark and Baszler, but Stark and Baszler can bring it into the ring. Anyway, we start out Damage Code getting the advantage. Then they had some heat on Io's or Kairi Sane. Uh, Io gets in. The match spills up to the floor, and that's when Stark accidentally kicks Fire. Uh, Kicks her right upside the head. Sky hits her moonsault, but before they can get the pin, Dawn and Fire come in and dismantle both teams and cause a DQ. According to my notes here, I think they did give it damage control by DQ, but it could have been double DQ, no decision. All right, next up, we got a segment featuring Randy Orton. He said 20 years ago, he became the youngest world heavyweight champion. In a few short weeks, though, he's going to become a 15-time champion. He does believe he can beat Randy Orton. Here comes Gunther. Gives a rebuttal. Say, hey, this is the ring general's era here. Doesn't have room for people who waste the potential, and there's no room for Orton in this era. Orton did come back and say, look, I made my mistakes. I owned up to it. He's a changed man. He's a family man now. Uh, Gunther comes back, talks about how predictable he is, and he will not, or would not be champion again. Uh, he calls Orton, he calls Randy Orton Grandpa Orton, Papa Orton, a screw up. But the RKO is the biggest screw up of all. The men drop their mics, get into each other's face. Drew McIntyre's music hits, and that's when he gets hit with RKO out of nowhere. Um, After Gunther gets distracted, uh, out comes CM Punk to make sure that's all he does is cause a distraction. And CM Punk and Drew McIntyre brawl for a little bit, but CM Punk is the one left standing. Pretty good segment there to kind of squeeze in two little, I guess, little programs going at once. Would be nice to see Randy Orton win that 15th, but I just think Gunther might keep it. We'll talk more about this later. All right, next match of the night is the Miz. Poor Miz. Uh, this was kind of set up by our Truth. Miz gets a bunch of punches in, hits on Reed, keeps away from Reed as best he can until Reed lets Miz run into him, and that's when the powerhouse pretty much starts his thing. Miz pretty much becomes his puncher bag. Miz tried a little comeback, but he jumped right into a Death Valley driver. Of course, this is set up for the Tatsumi splash, in which he wins. Then attacks our Truth, hits him with a few tsunami splashes to the dismay of the general manager, Adam Pierce. Man, Bronson Reed turned to a big deal a little bit, leaving people laying like the good old days. Uh, Sometimes that's how you got to put a monster over. All right, now it's time for the main event, a 2 out of 3 falls match for the Intercontinental Championship. Sami Zayn going up against the new champion Braun Breaker. Pretty good match, first opening match. Sami got a little of his stuff in. Braun got a little of his stuff in. Uh, they fought a little bit the outside, but the first match went to first Paul went to Sami Zayn after a Huluva kick. Uh, they get back right to it. Braun hits the Frankensteiner for 2. Breaker, after both men are left land, Breaker gets up first. Real press power slam, and then a spear would win Breaker the second fall. Seems like Zayn, or not Zayn, but Breaker would turn it up a little bit notch. Then pretty much had Sami dead to rights a few times. Sami would get a little bit of comeback, But Breaker uh, catches Sami Zayn coming off the ropes for a spear. Then hits the another spear for the 3 count. Your winner and still Intercontinental Champion is Braun Breaker. Great call here. Let him ride with that championship for a little bit. See how he does. Sometimes let if he's going to sink or swim. This is a good way to put it. Put that Intercontinental Championship on him. Let him have some good matches. Let him have some because I think he's got enough win. He's an athlete. So uh, put him with some good workers and see what he does. All right. Do a little plug here. Every Tuesday, I do a trivia show called Wrestling Trivia Tuesday, where I ask 5 questions all about the sport of professional wrestling. So check that out every Tuesday. Of course, as you're watching here, a WWE Raw Recap I do every week. Of course, next week they'll probably be doing some more building up to Bash in Berlin Premium live event. I also do a AEW Dynamite recap show, and of course they're building up for their big event All In at Wembley Stadium. I do believe I will be checking that out because it's supposed to start Sunday at like 1 o'clock. Hopefully it doesn't last till 1 a.m. Monday morning. I gotta get up early. Come on, old man's gotta work. Uh, Usually have those on Tuesdays. Speaking of Thursday, I do a live stream called Spot Show Live Stream, where I talk about current wrestling news. Of course, I'll talk about things happening this week. AW, there's something came up TNA, WWE, discuss it all. But you know what? Some people just don't care about current wrestling product. They want to talk about the good old days, back when wrestling was wrestling. And of course, I got something for them. And hey, for you new cats out there, who new fans want to learn a little bit of history, check this out. It's open to everybody. It's called Wrestling Gold Friday Night. It's another live stream I do. I, you know, do a this today in wrestling history, and I also go back and do a watch along, talk about my memories of certain things during that time. Of course, had the volume down, so sometimes I make fun or kind of do bad lip reading, so I try to keep it entertaining here. But like I said, it's Wrestling Gold Friday night, every Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, 5 p.m. Pacific, 9 a.m. Saturday morning in Japan, and 5 a.m. Saturday morning in India. And that wraps it up for this week's WWE Raw Recap. Appreciate everybody who watched. Hopefully, you watched it to this part. Uh, so I can tell you all thank you. And let me just do the usual spiel again. Hit the like button, leave a comment, even just to say hello, and be a champion. Click on that subscribe button. Also, share with friends, get them to subscribe. It's all greatly appreciated. Until next time, you folks have a good one and take it easy. Hey there, thank you for checking this out. If you enjoyed it, share with friends, drop a like button, leave a comment. Also, be a champ and hit that subscribe button. You can also check me out on social media, Facebook at Ronald Ray, on X or Twitter is RPATRPTV46. Until next time.
So long from the peach state of Georgia.